here's the dilemma. It's the dilemma of use one frame of reference to describe or prove something that requires a completely different frame of reference. And so the word evidence is a word of science, or of law, but presumably we're talking science instead of law here. When we say the evidence of God, what it really means is evidence that is knowable by my five senses. So simply to say to you the evidence of God is I can feel God, without even having the person who asked this question sitting right in front of me, I know, that's not going to be a convincing answer. I know he's sitting at home going, no, that's not what I mean. I mean the evidence. I mean the real evidence. He's not interested in, I feel him, so many feel him. He's interested in, show me something that I can see with my eyes, hear with my ears, touch with my hands, smell with my nose, or taste with my tongue. And therein lies the dilemma. Evidence is that which, for most of us, that which our tools can be used to prove. So does it have a weight? Does it have a volume? Can you put it on a scale? Can you stick it in a beaker? Can you see it in a microscope? How much does it weigh? What color is it? Show it to me, like right here, put it in my hands. And it's really a tragedy because we all, of course, know that there isn't any evidence like that. I can certainly say to you, oh, well, this happened, this miracle happened. And there's innumerable miracles. You read the lives, the historical lives of so many mystics and sages and people who even just simple people, beautiful people touched by God, who have decided to write their story. But in the world of science, that doesn't float. We call that anecdotal. And the asker of this question is sitting at home going, but you can't prove that. Yeah, she may have said it. Yeah, he may have said it, but where's my proof? Where's my evidence? And therein lies our really tragic dilemma. Because what we've done is we have said, these are my tools. My tools are my five senses. My tools are that which I have developed in the realm of science. I've got a Bunsen burner. I've got a beaker. I've got a microscope. I've got a telescope. I've got a petri dish. I've got a scale. I've got a tape measure. And in order for something to be real, I have to be able to interact with it with these tools. God doesn't fit on your scale, nor in your beaker, nor can you wrap your tape measure around God. And so we are left in this real tragedy where people who are committed to the idea that somehow all of that which is real can be experienced only through these ways miss out on the experience of God. And the only response to that is, have you ever been in love? Have you ever loved anyone? Doesn't have to be romantic love. Do you love your mom or dad? Do you love your child? Do you love a sibling? Have you ever loved anyone or anything, a pet, a tree? a goldfish. Doesn't matter. Although you're not here and I can't hear you, I'm going to assume that sitting there in your home, in your living room, you're nodding. Yes, yes, I've loved. And then I would say to you, prove it to me. Give me the evidence. Put it in my hands. I don't believe you. Show it to me. What is the evidence that you love your mom or your dad or your wife or your son or your daughter or your sister or brother? And of course, maybe you will say, well, I would do anything for them. Well, people do anything for God. Maybe you say, I serve them, I take care of them. People serve God. And so interestingly, God is in much of the same boat as love, which is the most important core fundamental experiences for us to have in life, and those that can't be proven tangibly. Simply because the tools of tangibility are too small to begin to touch love or God. Who knows, maybe someday science will develop a tool that will be able to measure how much you love. Maybe develop a tool that will show us God. I don't know. But right now, the tools don't exist. But just because the tools don't exist, don't deprive yourself of the experience of God. So many sages and saints and rishis and mystics and prophets and yogis and deeply blissful poor villagers, highly awake, ordinary people experience God. And so that's the evidence, if you will allow yourself to believe it. I realize there's no equation. There's no volume or area. But that's because it's infinite. The presence of God is infinite. It's like when Prahlad is asked, does God exist even in this pillar? And he says, yes. Long before the pillar was hit and God came out. He knew God existed in that pillar long before Bhagwan Vishnu emerged from it. Because he could see God everywhere. But his father couldn't. So the question for us is, until and unless we are reborn at a future date in the future when science has developed tools to prove God, who do we want to be? Who do you want to live as? The ones who believe? The ones who see? The ones who experience? Or the ones who doubt? Choice is all of ours. But what we know is that those who believe, those who love, those who feel, are also those who know. Because they've experienced. And for them, God is just as real as love is real for you. And in the same way that you couldn't convince someone that love didn't exist who had never experienced love, all you do is you pray. You pray that someday in their life they too will experience love. And in the same way we pray that those who don't believe someday will experience. Not that they'll believe because I'm saying it, but they will believe because they experience.